I guess. Bam, what up, Yang Gang? We're back. And I'm gonna be doing a different kind of intro outro too, just so you know. We're not gonna be doing the typical stuff. So okay, guys, tonight we're gonna be talking about first and foremost, the Oregon legislatures have expelled one of their colleagues for being a treacherous piece of shit. And then another article on AP News about election officials raise concerns of partisanship, exodus of election officials. There we go. And then Nevada governor signs law making state first presidential primary. Very interesting about that. And then AOC asked if what's that?
Oh, I forgot that was. I thought that was that. I forgot I had the AOC one.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, the AOC one's kind of a. We'll do that one last. That's the least, as far as importance goes. I think that's the last one. But the other three are going to be fucking fire, man. What up? Carnage is always in the house. Cases, I like your Disney thing there. Your eyes are gorgeous. And of course, Ari's all here saying he always says Liberia. Always. I don't know why. Oh yeah, put the banner down there. Boom, boom, boom. Does that say trickle up? Is that the right one? Yeah, I think so. But yes, we're gonna cover these articles, man. All right, so we'll start with, like I said, the one in Oregon. Okay. Oh, let me send you the link also in the private chat. That's the link to the article that I'm gonna be reading from. Whoopsie. Here.
Kick ass. Thank you.
My best feature, even in real life, the eyes. Of course it is. And I leave for New York in 3 days. So I am super pumped. I am so ready. I got to work tomorrow and Tuesday. Then I'm fucking kicking rocks and blowing bubbles. I'm out of here. And my girlfriend's coming with me. She has never been to a political event of any sort. And she's definitely never been to a Yang Gang hang. So she is going to be overwhelmed. She's going to be overwhelmed at least.
There's going to be a lot to experience there.
Yep. Hold on one second. But yeah, man. So I just talked to Nell and Ching. I'm staying with a guy. I'm staying in Hell's Kitchen, which is where I'm staying at is 2 blocks from Andrew's house. So like right in the same damn neighborhood. Let me please cross paths with him. Be like, what up, Drew? You know, it's my first time being out and about in a year and a half, man. It's crazy. A year and a half.
Well, you enjoy it. New York is huge. A big city.
It's huge, yes. Oh my God.
Like stating the obvious.
What's that?
Stating the obvious.
Yeah, it's a huge city. When you think about it, like I'm gonna have to make a trip up to come see you this summer. That's just all there is to it. I gotta come see you because I know you can't leave, so I gotta find a way to come up and at least come see you for a day.
Yeah,
take you out for lunch or something.
Smelly. I've got 2 dogs and a kid who does not understand that milk does not belong on the floor. So be prepared for a mess.
That is called art, Cases. She drew that. So yeah, she can do shit like that. That's incredible. But yeah, so I'll do our intro and I'll just throw it over to you. And we'll start with this Republican lawmaker getting bounced. Super excited about this. All right. So I'm going to try and shift Yang Gang or the trickle up to be not Yang Gang specific anymore, but we all know what it is. Mostly I'm going to do is I'm going to start out. I'm all going to say, let's talk about changing people's minds. So I'm going to say, hey, let's change some minds. What do you got on the low for us? Kind of thing. And at the end, I always just say, hey guys, go read a book. Think, read a book, and just trying to have different catchphrases.
I mean, I could sing the Reading Rainbow theme song for you if you want at the end.
Yeah. What's that guy that's on? What's that guy in Star Trek with the visor that did the Reading Rainbow? Right.
That's Geordie on that. Geordie LaForge on Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
and
Wasn't
LeVar
Bill
Burton.
Oh, LeVar.
In
That's right.
the
LeVar,
real
not
world.
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's something different. But anyway, all right. Let's get this baby started.
Get them confused.
No. Yeah, Bill Cosby's done. No Jello pudding. All right. Okay, guys, let's see if we can change some minds tonight. What do you got on the low for us tonight, Mia?
Well, tonight we're going to be looking over this article about an Oregon lawmaker who got expelled over the state capitol breach that happened there. A Republican lawmaker voted with majority Democrats in the Oregon House of Representatives to take the historic step of expelling a Republican member who let violent far-right protests. The hell is wrong with my speech? I apologize.
It's all good.
It's like I ate a typo. It's sitting there in my mouth. Okay. Republican lawmakers voted with majority Democrats in the Oregon House of Representatives to take the historic step of expelling a Republican member who let violet, they're purple.
Yes, there's a colorful word.
Oh, you got me with that one. I don't know why that got me so. Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is going to be the last try, and if I say violet again, I'm just going to let it go. And they're going to be purple people.
Fuck. Now you got me on that one. Okay, go ahead.
Republican lawmakers voted with majority Democrats in the Oregon House of Representatives to take the historic step of expelling a Republican member who let violent far-right protesters into the state capitol on December 21st. Legislators said on the House floor that this could be the most important vote they ever cast. They then proceeded Thursday night to expel an unapologetic Representative Mike Neerman with a 59-1 vote, marking the first time a member has been expelled by the House in its 160-year history. The only vote against the resolution for expulsion was Neerman's own. Oh, so there's where the one vote.
Yeah, they said he's got to go. So, just so you guys know the context of this guy before January 6th or before December 21st. I'm sorry, this is not January 6th. This is in the Oregon State Legislature in their Capitol building. He was at these meetings and these whatever like teachings, whatever the hell he's doing. These far right people, and he's literally saying they got him on film saying, "Listen, if you were going to storm it, it'd have to be at this time of day when people are there. You'd have to enter at this door this time of day." In a theoretical situation, you kept trying to play coy bullshit like a typical Trumpkin dipshit. And he's like, and if you were to show up there and if you were to text, I don't know, I'll say a random number. And he says his phone number. I'm just going to say a random number. Again, that number I wouldn't theoretically have said was blah, blah. He says his phone number 3 times in a row. And he goes, and if you were to theoretically send a message to that theoretical number I just spit out, and he says it one more time. He goes, you can say, hey, we're at this door. We'll be there at 5:30 p.m. or whatever it is. And theoretically, someone would just walk out that door and let you in. Then someone's going to go outside for a smoke break. And he literally did it. So there's a large group of far-right psychopaths in Oregon, that they texted him, and he walked out the door, and he just pushed the door open and kept walking, and they came in, and they started fighting with the Capitol Police in Oregon. That's why he's expelled. He's a literal traitor. He's a piece of shit. He should go to jail, first of all. Fuck just getting it. He should be criminally charged because he endangered the lives of everyone in that place. And there's a video if you guys want to watch it. Go look them up. They come in and they're hitting again, they're using the flag to hit cops and officers and spraying the officers with bear spray, all kinds of stuff. This went on for like 20 minutes. They're fighting these people at the back door. And he literally made it happen. He said, Trump ain't got shit on me. I'm going to let him in.
Considering he literally made it happen. That makes one of these quotes that he's got here in this article pretty interesting. Expelling me won't make this place safer. This has not been a fair process. The easy thing to do is expel me. No, it'll make it safer. You literally made it unsafe. You're the reason it was unsafe.
Yeah, it's safer already. Well, I think they have a quote in here. Holvey, which I'm not sure who Holvey is, must be the leader. I said, on the morning of December 21st, a couple of 100 protesters, some of them heavily armed and wearing body armor, arrived at the Capitol for a protest with the intent to illegally enter and presumably occupy the building and interrupt the proceedings of the Oregon legislature. Staff and legislators were terrified. We can only speculate what would have happened if they were able to get all the way in. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And this guy says it's not going to get any safer. Bullshit. You know, you ain't getting paid by the taxpayers' money to insurrect your own state capitol. I just don't understand. This guy should be in jail. I think there should be some charges brought up on him too for endangerment, personally.
There are a lot of people who should be in jail right now who aren't involved in this stuff across the board.
Yeah, and it's pretty disgusting. And even the Republicans, his fellow Republicans, they all were like, yeah, it's a wash. So there is some relics of justice here and there. Again, I think he should be arrested and put in jail for endangering. And they actually got a photo here. Let me show you guys this photo. One of the dipshits shared. Of course, these people are fucking stupid. So they shared a photo from them outside that door. And there's all these people with their Blue Lives Matter and their pink Trump women flags and whatever the fuck. All these people at that back little door, he just walked right by and left. And all these fools are trying to get in. And they're fighting. And look at literal pitchfork with American flag on it. The symbol of ignorance right there. A pitchfork. Fucking people are so dumb. Dumb. That's what we're fighting. People get elected to hold these positions. We have to know who we're voting for. This is a cry for people to get involved. A cry for people to know who the hell they're voting for and hold your people accountable.
Yeah, there's kind of some of what's going on with that is actually something we're going to be reporting on a little bit later here. The article on the election officials exiting. We need people to start stepping up and run for local weird offices, like election official offices, and like get your hands in that stuff because this doesn't seem like it's strategic, but they're trying to push people out of positions and then fill them
with corrupt people.
They're using idiots to get rid of people they don't want and then pushing in people who will toe a certain line.
They want Marjorie Taylor Greens everywhere. They want them everywhere. They want to infect. Literally, it's an infection of ignorance. They want to infiltrate and destroy. Nah, bro. This is our country. Sorry, dummies. Your minority will not be represented and will not take over this country. Sorry. You're too stupid. But we are just as stupid for letting these people get in the door. You know, so I think there's going to be some ramifications, some kind of update on their protocols, hopefully, about how do we prevent this from happening again. Maybe they should have a buzzer system where you can't get out that back door without being buzzed out and cameras outside that door. So I'm not sure in that picture, it doesn't show any cameras. It's just this fancy building with a fancy door that can be pushed open by anybody. But yeah, Carnage here says, why did it take so long to do anything about this since it happened in December? It's only because on January 4th, or no, was it January 4th? It said the video got out. June 4th, I'm sorry. So on June 4th, the video emerged. And then like, wait, what the hell? So someone leaked the footage publicly, and that's why he got booted this quickly. And it only took them, what's today? The 13th? It took them less than 10 days. You know, but yeah. But yeah, so yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
One of the reasons why there's nothing watching that back door, though normally it is open to the public. The reason it was closed down right now was because of the coronavirus. So
yes,
That's why there were no security things in place. It wasn't supposed to be shut down. It was shut down as a unusual step.
Right.
So,
and then of course these are a bunch of anti-masker dipshit QAnon psychopaths. This coronavirus isn't real. They're keeping us out to keep us out of the process. They're trying to sneak in some pedophile, cannibalistic bullshit, that kind of conspiracy bullshit, So it's a unique situation, but it exposed them for what they are. Traitors. Flat out. Because you cannot protest peacefully. It is not constitutionally protected. Peaceful protest is. Violence is violence. No matter what your reasons are. So these people we're here to peacefully protest while they stab you in the stomach with the spike of a goddamn pitchfork. That's not peaceful. Now you should be put down. And these officers had every reason to put these people down with salt, with the rubber bullets or something. They didn't have any of that. They tried to spray them. The other people had bigger spray bottles. They had bear spray. Yeah. Imagine if there was guns. If it would have been a shootout, it would have been ridiculous. And these people were heavily armed with body armor, helmets, masks, the mask for sprays, all kinds of shit, man. But yeah, so it could have been worse. Thankfully, the police there were able to maintain the line. Thankfully, and that's what we need. We need qualified police to do their jobs. We need to back the blue in those situations, man. Not when they're killing people for being a minority. But when they're doing their fucking job, we got to back them, man. This is a moment where we have to stand up for these people that are being put in harm's way because of a public official. Risking all those people's lives. And for what? Fucking idiots. But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think about that in the video, man. In the comment section. And while you're here, of course, get a video like, hit subscribe, follow, share, all the usual endings here. And make sure you guys go read a book. Bam. We're done with that one. I'm trying not to say fuck so much. It's not easy. But because if we get monetized, I need to practice not saying it so much because that affects the money. The money it just does. We're not getting it yet.
Replacement word, man. I have a whole bunch of them.
I'm just a colorful speaker. That's the term I like to use. I like blue words, as they say in comedy. Yeah.
Fudge nuggets.
Oh yeah. Let me think. Mother trucker. There's a bunch of them. Like when your kids were little. You mother trucker. And then your kids say it. You're like, don't say that. Like, why not? Well, I don't know. Anyway. But yeah, let's move on to the next one, which is related to this, is the exodus of election officials. Yeah. All right. Ready for the next one? All righty. Okay, guys, let's see if we can change some more minds tonight. What's next up on the low, Mia?
Tonight, we're going to be talking about the exodus of election officials raising concern of partisanship. A lot of election administration officials have become a...
Nope.
Bleep, 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 bleep. Are you sure you don't want to replace me with a machine yet, boys?
Not yet.
No
AI
might work better.
Hey, trust me, I'm gonna fumble a couple more times tonight. Don't you worry.
Human error, man. Not necessary. All right. Tonight we're going to be talking about the exodus of election officials raising concerns of partisanship. I need to read that.
Just start from there.
Let me give me a second to rewrite it because the lead-in is not working for me.
Yeah. Election administration has become a political minefield.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's a little bit of a twister.
Yeah. Especially coming off of the title.
Yes. Well, you don't have to say the title again. I can edit that. I can make that jump.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, one more try. Election administration has become a political minefield thanks to the claims of fraud being pushed by many in the Republican Party. County officials who run elections are quitting or retiring early. And the exact number of election officials across the country that left their posts and why, since the departures are not generally tallied, but retirements are also common after elections. And that makes the numbers kind of hard to really get. In some places that do track the information, though, along with accounts from county officials, it's apparent many have recently left due to the changing political climate and job-related threats. So further apprehensions exist with the potential of new punishments in certain states. And that's kind of creating this vacuum of, people to run the elections to make sure that these things are fair and done right. And we have a issue where they're basically trying to get, the GOP is trying to slip in extremists into these spots in the vacuum that's being created.
What's funny is they're crying that the elections are rigged. Then they want to go rig the elections. Like literally. And after we had these investigations, like in Texas, they found 7 cases of fraud. 6 of them were GOP votes. One guy killed his freaking wife and voted for her.
Whoa, I need to see that one.
Yeah. I covered that on, I think it was, I was talking to like Matt and Mike on TikTok about it, where a guy was found guilty. I think maybe that was Arizona or Texas, but a guy has been found corrupt or guilty of mail voter fraud. So he mailed in his wife's thing, and it turns out he killed her already. He said she would have wanted me to vote for Trump. I'm like, what kind of derangement is this? So these are the same people that probably run for election committees because they want to rig it, and they will. They're not there to. They want to corrupt the system. And specifically in this article, it mentioned someone from our home state of Michigan, right? So her name is Barb Byram, clerk of Ingham County, Michigan, says these conspiracy theorists are in it for the long haul. They're in it to completely crumble our republic. And they're looking at these election administrator positions. They're playing the long game. In Michigan, Byram said she didn't know a precise number of newly vacant positions, but was able to rattle off several seasoned elected officials who have recently left. And also about 1/3 of Pennsylvania's county election officials have left in the last year and a half, according to a spokesman for the State County Commissioners Association. Cited heavy workloads and rampant misinformation related to voting among the reasons. And there's a quote from in Pennsylvania. It was particularly challenging last year with all the misinformation and angst out there, said Lisa Schaefer. She's executive director of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, and none of it was caused by county officials. So think about this. People know who you are in public, and you're one of the people that verify the election. They don't like the results of the election, and they blame you. And they're harassing you in public, threatening you in the DMs, threatening you and your family on emails, voicemails, text messages. These little fucking weak ass trolls, you know. Sorry, I'll edit that out. But that's what these people are doing. They're being threatened, right? They're being threatened. Their safety. They're being inconvenienced. These aren't great paying jobs, you know. These are just voluntary things most of the time. You're getting paid a couple $100 a meeting or some shit, you know. And then to have people threaten your life, no. That's not okay. And I think we need to take that shit seriously.
Absolutely. And it's not theoretical that they're trying to get into here either. We've got Arizona State Mark Fincham, who was at the January 6th rally outside the Capitol and is a chief supporter of a partisan review of ballots in Maricopa County. He's running for Secretary of State. Former Nevada lawmaker Jim Marchant, who has clung to the conspiracy theory that the election was stolen from Trump, is campaigning to replace Republican Secretary of State Barbara Kagowski, who has repeatedly denied claims of election fraud, but can't run again because of term limits. So they are actively putting people in place to take the positions that they have basically intimidated people out of.
Yep.
It's a long game that did not look like a long game. It looked like chaos, but there's always somebody who sees a power play available to them and takes it.
Time and money. They got time and money. And they're going to infiltrate with psychopaths in some places. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'll say it again, and the other little whack job Bobert. I'm coming to Capitol Hill, my pistol on my pocket. Stupid shit like that. Did you guys? Oh yeah, Carnage says, "Do you see the death threats Ilhan Omar put on Twitter? She gets consistently. It's disgusting." Yeah, dude, I've gotten some threats on TikTok DMs. Like people are saying, if I find out where you're at, Michigan, we gonna kick your ass. I'm like, okay, go ahead and try.
I'm very fortunate that I have never been threatened by anybody online.
Yeah, I piss people off, and that's what I do. Yeah, we got Ron here in the background. He's gonna jump in for the next one. Listen, Ron, if you can hear us, let me just bring him in for a second. Hey, Ron, we're gonna finish this one. We'll bring you in for the next one, okay?
Okay, cool.
Yep. Okay. So let's go back into this. So yeah, Ilhan Omar, all these people are being threatened and intimidated to not run. And another one in Scott County, Iowa, a GOP board chose not to hold a special election after the abrupt resignation of a longtime top officials, a Democrat, instead of appointing a Republican. They did not hold a special election. Instead, appointed I'll repeat it. There should be a special election. The GOP board decided to appoint a Republican. So people that just don't have time for the bullshit are leaving because it's just not worth their time. Being replaced by the people who threatened them, most likely. That's a problem.
Or at
we
least
have to hold them accountable.
Of the people who threatened them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and we live in Michigan, where it's majority Republicans in our state legislature. But we have a Democratic governor, Democratic Secretary of State, district attorney, assistant district attorney, deputy, whatever the hell other government things. It's upper management's all Democrats. But individual counties are very red all across the state. It's just the big cities, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, places with colleges, like that's the biggest threat is these damn liberal arts colleges are taking us down. So that's kind of the problem. So we have all this legislative body that's being overwhelmed because of gerrymandering and maintained. So I'm hoping this new map drawing this year, we'll find out, if we can challenge some of these positions and get the majority back. They're corrupt. They're absolutely corrupted, and they want power, and they're so power hungry, they will do whatever it takes. So in other words, they want a theocracy. Is what it comes down to. They want a ultimate power. They want the strongman theory type of bullshit, and they'll threaten everyone that gets in their way. And the other guy from TikTok, Matt from Mute the Media, he gets regular death threats. He showed me some of his DMs. Regular death threats. Maybe he's on TikTok. He's making 1-minute videos.
You're making TikTok sound really scary.
Well, it's not the TikTok. This is these idiots. And me and Matt and Michael are very aggressive. You only got 1 minute to piss them off, so you got to get it in there, But they react to it, and like Matt's on his third channel because they mass report him and get him taken down. That sounds like cancel culture. Cancel culture, bunch of sissy liberals. No, it's actually MAGA snowflakes. So, and I get lots of pushback on MAGA stuff I do. It literally says MAGA tears, MAGA snowflakes, Trumpkin, QAnon psychos, whatever, and they react to it. So it's all good.
Well, Trump is a monster. That is, I think, demonstrable in multiple ways. I understand that people have varying reasons why they believe certain things, but anybody who believes that the election was stolen really is a good argument for reopening institutions, even though they had a lot of abuse. We need to find a place to keep people who are unsafe to themselves and others.
Well, and that's what we have to do as progressives. We have to run for office. we have to call them on their bullshit. We have to meet them where the rubber meets the road. We have to be there. So we have to get involved, guys. We have to. Can't let them outflank us with logical techniques. This is a good, smart strategy. You want to rig an election, be in charge of the elections. They claim that the elections were rigged, even though every person they elected said it's not. So they want to go in there and elect someone that will rig it.
If you have the resources for a very strange job, a job that didn't used to be very strange, but if you have the resources to be able to take this job on, please check in, make sure that your state is not one of the ones about to be overrun by this crap.
Yeah. After seeing this article, I'm thinking about running maybe for county election official instead of state representative. I might have to look into that. Not as much responsibility. I don't have to quit my job. So I don't want to quit my job unless I'm going to do this full time. I'll do this full time, but not that. I don't want to do that necessarily. But if it is what it is, you know. But yeah, so
of integrity to guard that, and you would be a person of integrity who would guard that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, guys. So they know what the proper strategy is to rig an election by running for the elected officials. So we must do the same. That's the call to action, guys. If you know someone that can run for office that's got a backbone and a spine and a brain, you know, have them run, please. And support them. Don't just say go run, but support them. Phone bait for them. Help do fundraisers. Knock on doors. Get them elected. Not these psychopath QAnon Marjorie Taylor Greene types, man. Holy crap. If this country gets majority control by Marjorie Taylor Greene's people, this is no longer a democracy.
And go talk to Todd from Nerds for Humanity for the people. Right?
Yes.
That's
yes. For people.us. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think about that in the comment section. While you're here, of course, give the video a like, so blah, 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 fuck you, boys. I'll edit that out as well. No more fucks. Stop fucking saying fuck. So let us know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe, ring notification bells. And thanks for joining us. We see you guys next time, and go read a damn book. All right. So let me bring Ron in. Okay, Ron, if you can hear us. He's going to turn on his camera here in a second. Yeah, man. They're corrupt. Hey, Ron, I hope you can hear us. Turn on your camera. There. Hey. Perfect. But in the private chat, I put the link to the next article in there about the Nevada governor signs a law making Nevada the first state to vote, which is a lot of complications that come along with that. Let me actually open that up.
Are we going to have states trying to leapfrog each other to be first to vote now?
Well, that's the thing that we're going to be talking about, because there is one state that has it in their constitution. So this could be a domino effect.
Right.
Let's see here. There it is. Okay, I got it pulled up. Good deal. All righty. Okay. You guys ready? Rock and roll. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Trickle Up. Fuck you, boys. That's wrong. All right, let's see if we can change some minds tonight. What you got next on the low for us, Mia?
Tonight we're going to talk about how the Nevada governor signed a law to make the state the first presidential primary. Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak signed into law a bill that would make it the first in the nation to hold a presidential primary during a general election year. The measure passed both chambers in the Nevada state legislature last month. It would also change Nevada's contest from a caucus to a primary that will be held on the first Tuesday in February.
Thank goodness.
We'll still need to gain support of national political parties to take effect. And I lost my place. What is it tonight, boys?
It's Sunday.
It's
Sunday night. Yeah, we got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, boo.
Okay.
It's next to that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
If you want to pick up, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's next to the Red Baron pizza ad in the article.
I don't see ads. I'm too cool for ads.
Oh, you You privileged consumer.
It's important to note that if the parties don't agree to the calendar changes, Nevada state could be at risk of losing delegates at presidential nomination conventions. So this move does come with some risk as well.
But it has bipartisan. It has support in the House and the Senate. It said, right, both chambers.
Yes.
So, yeah.
In Nevada state chambers.
Well, so the thing is, they used to be a caucus. Now they want to go to a primary, which I think is a good idea. I think Iowa should follow suit and be done with these caucuses. They're pointless and they're a shit show.
Yeah, welcome to 1895, really.
Yeah, and I did it in Iowa. I was a precinct captain. It is a shit show. It is easily fucked with. Let me edit that out. It is easily manipulated. Oh man, because in my district that I was the precinct captain, they made the count of all the actual ballots or the people that signed in their registration cards. Then they did a head count. It didn't match up. They did it 3 times. It never matched up. And they said, well, let's just all vote as a consensus. We're going to go with this number, the higher number. Okay. I do the math. That gives them one more delegate. So, again, guys, I was live streaming this business. It's ridiculous. And it happened at multiple districts that we were there. Yang Yang was there documenting it with our cameras. This is not hearsay. This is not fake news. This is live streamed. And so it is a bunch of bullshit with this. Talk to your partner, bow down, see, just like a do-si-do, man. Just cast your vote, man. Just cast your vote, or, which is better, to me, a better system of the caucus and a primary is ranked choice voting. It gives you the best of both worlds. But yeah, so the problem is in Vermont, or is it New Hampshire? New Hampshire's constitution, it says they will be the first to vote in a primary. In a let me rephrase that. In a it's not a caucus though. Yeah, the primary. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes,
primary.
it's in their constitution. So if someone other state moves it, they'll go sooner. It'll make them move theirs to be subject to their constitution. So this was going to be on the first Tuesday, which is when Iowa's is. So then the primary in New Hampshire is going to get moved up to the second Tuesday. So they're going to make another Super Tuesday because 3 states will be electing on the same night now. There's a lot of moving parts in this because of their constitutional things. And then Iowa's a caucus. I think Iowa should be out of the first running period. They fucked up bad. They were so stupid. Pete Buttigieg's people worked for the people that ran the election. Hello, that's just Iowa's messed up, man.
Talk about a conflict of interest.
Significantly. And
Yeah.
Iowa doesn't represent the country.
No, not at all. It represents a bunch of corn farmers. That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the points that the article makes here is that Nevada is a significantly more diverse and representational sample of the American lifestyle than any of the early state voting that happens before that.
And so they wanted to begin in Nevada. It does have a more diverse voting block, much like South Carolina, because look what happened in South Carolina. That shit changed that quick. Iowa, New Hampshire didn't matter, guys. It set the temperature in the wrong direction. It set up Pete Buttigieg and Bernie. And Bernie won all first 3 of them. He won all of them. That's also never been done, which shows you how much they rigged the election against him with Biden in South Carolina. That's just my own personal opinion. But it should be, to me, it should be a diverse area because America is diverse. It should reflect the total population. It shouldn't just be farms. It should be metropolises, major metropolitan areas with some rural areas as well. I think South Carolina represents that better. Personally, I think South Carolina should be first if you're to look at it as a demographic. And Nevada as well, very diverse. but very small pool of people to decide the election, much like Iowa. So honestly, I think California, which would piss off all the Republicans.
Yeah.
I think more like California and Texas should be the first 2 states. That sets the tone. And then the rest of the states decide it. Don't let those 2 decide it in the middle.
Right.
And it kind of sets the table. So, okay, California has a lot, so does Texas. The rest of the states are going to decide who swings this thing. That's what I would do in a perfect world. But I don't know what you guys' opinion on this, about changing the whole damn thing.
You know what? I looking at just kind of reading the article along here. This is the first I heard of it, but just I get the feeling that I don't know the wheres and the whys and the behinds for it. You know, I see what they're doing, and I actually support moving from a caucus to an actual primary because, like you said, caucuses are easily manipulated. They're not accurate, and and it discourages people getting involved because it's an all-day affair. So I do support that, but like I said, I read that article and I get the feeling what's really going on behind the scenes to push this change. And I can understand making that, like I said, going from caucus to primary, but why do they want to be so first? Is it just to increase notoriety for the state? You know, what's behind that? And additionally, my last point here is, if we have our next election, Nevada comes shining blue, the Republicans are going to bitch and just say it was the rules change that caused that to happen.
Well, and what other thing that is very interesting, what you're saying is in the article, it says that it's not just going first, it's also enforcing voter expansion rules. Of course, the Republicans are like, expansion, that means we lose. Yeah, it does. Because you guys suck. You're the minority in this country. You guys are a bunch of psychopaths. You don't represent the people. You have less people. You shouldn't win elections if you have less people. But they want to manipulate the system to have representation from the minority group as the Republicans, as a party.
And in that way, I think it's a better choice than, say, Texas, because while Texas is more diverse and is larger, has a nice mix of rural and urban, it also has a lot more voter suppression. So in that case, it's not reflected in that way,
But I think it could come with some caveats to say, if you want to be first, you have to have a more secure votes, and not secure as in suppressing. So the problem is the DNC and the RNC decide all this shit, and that's the problem. Right. They get to set their own table. They leave no room for third-party challengers, which I think is fundamentally a flaw. Again, ranked choice voting. They should not be deciding who runs the primaries or that runs the debates. The debates is it's not even a debate. It's really just a bunch of talking point bullshit, clickbait stuff, And they don't allow third-party challengers on that stage. The Democratic Party had 26 motherfuckers. Let me say that again. I'm gonna edit that out. The Democrats had 20 people on the debate stage at one time, but 26 people running, but only 20 of them made the first primary or the first requirements with voters, and was it number total of donors and polling requirements. But then it goes into the corruption of polling. The polling is garbage.
And then you go to the election before. What was it, like 21 Republicans running? The election before, if I remember, something like along those lines. Yeah. So when you're getting such high numbers for people wanting to be president, that tells you it's not out of patriotism or out of seeking change. It's out of seeking power for yourself.
I'll say one thing that I would change about the whole entire process, and that is something that you kind of brought up a little bit earlier, Boyce, which is that the DNC and RNC play by their own rules. And the reason they play by their own rules is they are private organizations. Yep. They are not actually beholden to any sort of rules. They can make up whatever they want.
Yep.
The primaries are kind of a free-for-all that the government doesn't have any hands in. I don't think that's the way that should be. If those are the two parties that get to run, and if they're so baked deeply into our structure. Like, you have people who say you can't run against the two parties. Well, then why do they get to pretend as if they are not integral to our system to the point that they get to have private organizations and don't have to function by a base set of rules? Mm-hmm. If you are so baked into our thing that we can't even get a third party off the ground, then you should be more regulated.
Yeah. And why not, if they want to keep dicking around with this stuff, and moving dates. Just have like four dates of elections, and that's it. Stop running all over God's green earth, trying to get them all in different weeks, different. You know what? First Tuesday is these states, and just maybe just go across the whole goddamn state. As far as I'm concerned, it's ridiculous. This whole traditional thing is outdated. It's just outdated. Just because it's traditional doesn't mean it's good. They used to hang people. That's not good. It was okay to beat your wife. That's not good. You know, it's okay to smack your kid upside the head with a belt. Buckle.
Yeah, a lot of people imagine that the whole thing is mandated by the Constitution or some law somewhere else, but you're right. It's absolutely not. The NC and RNC are the only organizations that make the rules, and they have absolutely no impetus to change them because they're the ones in power. So why would they? You know?
Well, and also, guys, the federal elections are not ran by the federal government. Elections are state issues. Get involved in your state elections, your state election officials. Get involved, because that's where you decide everything. State and county, man. Got to get better people, better candidates. You can't have these QAnon quackeries.
Yeah, I don't see that changing anytime soon. Otherwise, I'd like to see like a strong federal set of rules for all states. I think that would behoove everyone.
They're trying with HR1 with bare minimum.
Right.
They're doing minimums on voting, which is voter ID laws, mail-in voting laws, getting everybody bare and minimal number of drop-offs, and making sure that there's a minimum amount of hours the voting is open for people that work different shifts, you know. And so they're trying to make a federal law that gives bare like a guideline, but every state can do whatever they want after that. And that's kind of a problem in different places. So make federal IDs free, make state IDs free, then require vote IDs. Fine. Make them free though. Give them away. You can't charge me a fee for a driver's license. You know, if you're going to, I'm sorry, not a driver's license, a state ID should be free for people that don't have money. A driver's license, driving is a privilege, so you should pay for that. I get that, which I think is bullshit, but it is the way it is. It does cost money to run that system. But yeah, man, we've got some real problem. Like I said, there's some state constitutions that have these guidelines in their state constitution, specifically New Hampshire. There's a reason why they're the first. They're the first primary. So if Iowa went to a primary, the New Hampshire state constitution will require them to be before everyone else. So either we need to talk about that. New Hampshire, sorry, bruh. It's time to update your constitution. We're not going to play these games. But then who decides who goes when? There is no federal oversight, guys. Again, states decide what time when they vote. It's always on Tuesdays.
I would imagine that if it came to a contest between states, maybe it would go to the Supreme Court somehow. I don't know if there's a mechanism to do that. But we have the Supreme Court to blame for this whole mess in the first place because
it'd have to go to their state Supreme Court, not the federal.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It can't go to the state. It can't go federal. It's not a federal issue. It's a state issue. All elections are state. So that's the thing. People don't, basic civics. We need to know how this actually works and who's actually in charge, and why they're in charge, and how the hell they got in charge. Like the DNC, RNC bullshit. They get to decide everything, and they put it on CNN.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Think about the partisanship. Fox News was not allowed to host a debate. I think that's bullshit. I think Fox News should be allowed to hold a Democratic thing. They should be challenged, and vice versa. The RNC should have the CNN and MSNBC broadcasting their debates, hosting a debate, having their people question them. Give them tough questions. They don't want tough questions.
No, they want the status quo.
Yeah, they want their candidate to win.
I gotta say, when I'm watching Fox News, when I'm watching opposition talking to these people, they're not asking what I would consider the tough questions anyways. Even when it's the opposition, the questions they're asking are generally ridiculous bullshit that nobody actually cares about. I would really like real questions asked instead of like in general, not left, not right, forward questions about solutions and ways to solve things.
Yeah, I would like to see online forums instead of debates. Let them come out and take some questions from a panel, just like they did on what was that? Someone hosted an online forum about climate change. That's what it was. The climate change forum on some network did it. A political, I think it was, did a climate change forum. I find more value in those than these people sitting there talking over each other. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. It's click debate. It's all about selling commercials. They should not be deciding our elections, man. Like Bernie called them out. He goes, tonight we're going to have an ad about healthcare in the middle of a presidential primary. That is corruption. Not like Bernie. He calls the shit, man. I like that about him. But that's the point of our politics. It's being overran by an oligarchy, corporately sponsored everything. And like you're saying, Mia, it is a private industry deciding our elections, a private capitalist industry, which capitalism incentivizes narcissism. It's required to succeed in a capitalist society to be a narcissist, to be the top of the top, you know? And so that's what I'm very curious about it is how the hell we got to change it. We've got to do it with ranked choice voting, period. And somehow get third parties and fourth parties, get a true libertarian party, a true green party, a true progressive party, whatever you want to call it. Get more that we should. I'm almost at the point where I'm looking at we should go into parliamentarian instead of presidential stuff.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that myself a little bit, and definitely first past the post has got to go. I mean, that's just kind of goes without saying, really, and it doesn't get a lot of support because a lot of people don't understand. Again,
Yeah.
Americans are very centered in their own country. They don't know that other people do it different ways.
Yep.
And there are much better ways to do it.
That's exactly right. There are way better ways to do it. You got that right.
Again, tradition doesn't matter. I'm not a traditionalist. I'm an issuist, like Matt says on Mute the Media. Let's talk about the issues. What's going to help people?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm the same way with the Supreme Court as well. They have their own traditionalists, and I don't care what George Washington thought when he passed such and such legislation. I don't give a shit. That was a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to deify the founding fathers, but they were just men, and they couldn't imagine the times we're living in now or what it would be like. So
No.
I don't care what the original intent of the law was. I want to know how the law affects people now. That's what makes a difference.
Well, and that's why the founding fathers were smart when they made it an amendable document. They said, guys, we're just normal people. We're just normal people. We have good foundation issues. We have a good start. We have a good skeleton, a good framework. It should be, you make amendments. There's only, I think the original Constitution only had like the Constitution. Then they added the amendments. The First Amendment was the protection of freedom of speech and peacefully protest and to speak out against your government because you go to jail for that in England, right? The Second Amendment was about possession of firearms and the right to have a well-farmed militia, well-trained militia too. Third, fourth, fifth, like there was the basic 10. The first 10 were your Bill of Rights. Everything after that has been amended as we go. So we haven't had a new amendment since the 80s, I think it is, 80s or 90s. We have not updated our Constitution. I personally support the idea of a new Bill of Rights with a technological advancement of Bill of Rights that includes online threats. Like we have people threatening the lives of publicly elected officials, online threats, and emails from whatever. So we need to have that type of talk of, okay, what speech is protected online? We need to make a decision about that. Is Facebook a production company or is it just a social media? Well, should they be allowed to run political ads? No. If you're not part of this, you can't run fuck that, man. Put some regulations in place. There's no regulation of social media right now whatsoever. Zero.
Well, we've got all these old people in office that don't know the difference between Google and Apple. I mean, it's just terrible,
How do you make money?
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's like, can you tell me how to use this system of tubes we call the internet, please? It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Some of the questions they were fielding.
And we've got a political party whose entire shtick is shut down any sort of regulation on anything. Anything.
Yep. Deregulate to set people free. to exploit others is what it comes down to.
If they could, they'd deregulate the sewer system so that you'd have your sewage backing up, and it would be your choice because you didn't call a plumber to go get your own well installed.
You get the freedom to hire any plumber you want. Like, come on, man.
You have the freedom to sit in the dark if you live in Texas.
Man, and freeze to death.
And freeze to death, yep.
Yep, absolutely. So this is just another glowing example of how this system is so fragmented and truly puzzling to most people. And we all pay attention to politics, yet it's still a mystery. Like, only thing I know about New Hampshire is that they go first. That's all I know about their whole thing. Like, I don't know. If you're not New Hampshire,
it's more than one person one average person can be, they can be excused for not understanding all this because there are literally 50 different systems to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't have that kind of time nowadays. And for a new amendment, it takes 2/3 majority. In this environment,
I think so. An amendment, I think it takes 2/3 majority in the Senate and the House, and I believe 3/4 of the governors or something like that. Some state stuff in there too.
This is why I say another thing we need is a method of direct voting for
direct democracy.
We need for issues that have an overwhelming majority of support of the American public. They should have the ability to bring that up and have it voted upon by them, not the representatives who clearly don't vote in the direction of the people they're representing anyways.
Okay, let me rephrase that, guys. So the amendment, you need 2/3 votes in the House and Senate, but the other 3/4 is 3/4 of the state legislatures to ratify it. So it's the state legislators, not the governor. I was wrong. State legislators, not the governor. So 3/4 of the states, 2/3 of the House and the Senate. That's got to be a major problem, like aliens or some shit.
That's out of orbit, man. Yeah,
our next amendment's going to be about aliens. Let's be real. It's going to be aliens. It should have been COVID. COVID isn't a foreign body trying to kill us. Nope, that wasn't enough. 600,000 people dead now, I think it is.
I think for me, that was the last straw, is watching COVID take place and watching Republicans politicize it. And they can say that Democrats politicize it all they want. Democrats did not politicize that virus. The only thing that the Democrats are possibly guilty of doing is saying, "Hey, look at how these Republicans aren't doing shit about this."
Yeah,
that's not even politicization so much as just criticizing the other side. In my
just
opinion,
being critical.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, and you should be critical about anything. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I decided. We as humans are fucked. We as humans are messed up. Is when you have a virus that's deadly and you can't even decide on basic, hygiene measures to take.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. And that's where we're at, man. Everything is politicized. Everything. The media is politicized. The elected officials are politicized. The votes are politicized. The healthcare system is politicized. Everything's politicized. Ford, what the hell? They'll find a way to get mad at Ford because they didn't support a certain political thing. Like they that's cancel culture, right? Is politicizing like capitalist markets. Buy your Goya, they support Trump. Buy this pillow, he supports Trump.
That's the other thing. It bleeds right over into the culture war, and that's what it's really called. Because some things should be politicized. Tax revenue should be politicized. How the country responds to a deadly pandemic should be politicized because that's the only people capable of handling it.
Yeah, we should be critical. Yeah,
right. But what do Republicans do? They make it about it's an issue of freedom and my free speech. No, that's not. That's not the way it works. When you're in a democracy, you participate in that democracy, and along with that come responsibilities to educate yourself and to know what the hell's going on around you.
Yeah,
I have so many ideas for ways to make our system better. Like, we should definitely have like a week-long class that people get paid to go to before elections to just learn about the different officials that they can elect for. Just pay people to learn about the system before they go in.
That's a good idea.
Why
pay
wouldn't
people
you?
to vote?
Yeah, pay them to vote, but like
tax incentive.
Just voting isn't really enough, though. Like, an informed electorate is so important. So, like, give them actual classes on it. Anybody's job that week could be to go in and learn about the political system. Then you go in and you follow through with an informed vote. Like that alone.
The problem is people won't even vote when they're uninformed.
I'm just imagining the quiz that you have to take before you go into vote. It's like, okay, it's like, how do we add an amendment to the Constitution? Do we A, get a 2/3 majority, B, burn them with your Jewish space laser, or C,
Pant, suit, shoes, suitcase. That whole memory thing that Trump kept saying about his intelligence.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah,
like,
TV, radio.
Oh, that's what it was. TV, radio, pants,
something like that. Camera, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Or it was. You know what? You're right. You're better at this. Just recalling funny words doesn't matter. But it's like, I'm telling you, I still remember them. They're on a cue card. Comes the guy going, "No, it's Bird, you idiot! Bird, then camera." Oh my god. Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna cut that out. Creative editing tonight. But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys think about this. Do you think it's okay to start jockeying around positions to keep playing this game of we are going to go first because we're important, or do you support the idea of having a little more of a diverse temperature gauge? Which I don't like the premise of that. It's identity politics. I don't like it because they're going to be like, we should have 2 states that have black people and 2 that don't. I could see it being that basically fucking stupid and simple. I don't know, man. It's just, that's how I see this thing going. I don't like it, but yeah. So this also entails in this policy in Nevada is also expanding voter access. So I support it for that alone. I can give a shit who goes first. Expanding voter rights, I'm in. If they want to go earlier, so be it. Whatever. Let's have 2 Super Tuesdays and call it a day. Then it's over. Then all the states should be able to pick a day. Whatever. But let us know what you guys think about that in the comment section. While you're here, of course, give the video a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe, the whole 9 yards, right? And while you're at it, go read a book, please. I said please. That was awesome.
You said please. That was good.
I usually say go read a fucking book,
Go educate yourself.
Yeah, man.
Go read a book.
Por favor. Matter of fact, you can read this book. You can read this book. I got another one. Please go read this book. Ooh, that doesn't. Fuck, that's weird.
Oh, it's cool.
For a revolution.
Blue or chrome. Yeah, that looks awesome. Actually,
it's because it's yellow. But yeah, Blueprint for Revolution is about organizing, grassroots organizing, nonviolent. And yeah, so right now people are early voting in New York as we speak. I'll be in New York in 3 days, and I'm going to be going to the Bronx because they need more people working at the polling stations for early voting. So me and my girlfriend go out there and go put boots on the ground and actually do some shit. Read a book and go do something. That's how I should end it, right? But we'll start with the book. Yeah. So let's go to the other one. Oop, wrong one. That one. Wait, is that 3?
That is.
Yeah, that's 3. Me and you did 2. Then Ron jumped in for 1. And we have this AOC. I have no idea what this AOC thing is about.
Well, it's more complicated than it sounds. So
Okay.
What's going on here is they are trying to get Justice Breyer, a member of the Supreme Court, to retire early.
Okay.
Well, not retire early. I mean, he's 82. It wouldn't be early, but to get him to retire so that Biden can replace him before the next election. So we don't have an RTG2.
A death.
Yes. Situation.
Yeah. So yeah, let's do that one. That'd be a fun one. Fuck it. We'll wait for Ron. But yeah, I actually have an opinion on this. Let me pull up this article. CNN. Open Sesame. Okay.
Sorry, I'm eating dinner late, so I'm wolfing down between camera views.
Okay, so the last one, I'll put this. Oh, I forgot to give you this link too, didn't I? Is that me? Is the links in the group DM and Twitter, right?
Yes.
The original doc. So Ron, are you in there too in our group DM for the trickle up contributors? Okay. So in the future, the links will be in there too in the group DM. So I'll put it in here for you as well. Your Wi-Fi's holding up, Mia. I'm happy. Are you good?
For the moment.
Okay, we're good. So there's the last article about AOC inclined to say yes to whether Justice Breyer should retire. So this is going to be a tricky one, man. It's going to be a little ageism, a little gamesmanship.
There's drama in this one. That's why I picked it.
All right, now we're talking. Okay. Carnage. Let's see. Melanie says, I like mail-in voting. I got to look up everyone to see what their policies were. I do agree with that too. You get time to look it up. Oh, here it is. Carnage. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. Thank you for being accurate. Oh my God. But no transgender people in the military, okay? It's a man or a woman. These fucking people. Anyway, I miss doing Trump impressions. I don't miss him, but I miss doing the impressions.
Yeah, it's like it's reflexive. Whenever you need to do an impression of somebody stupid, you just reach in your Trump bag and go in there, you know?
It's that Trump card, get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah. Carnage. Oh yeah, Carnage also says, we have done mail-in voting in Utah the entire time since I've been voting. Anyone can request it online, easy. Exactamundo. But now it's a crime against humanity, and you're stealing elections.
Well, Texas came out this week and basically told Trump, hey, you would have lost Texas if it wasn't for us stopping mail voting. I mean, they basically came out and said the quiet part out loud this week. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah, Texas shut down all voting mailbox drop-off boxes, one per county. And like Austin, Texas, that was like 4 million people. One place to drop it off. That's how you suppress votes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or just you've got poor areas of town. You make sure there's no drop boxes in the area. There's only one place to actually go vote on voting day.
Well, it's not in that neighborhood. It's in the white neighborhood.
No. Right,
Hell no.
Right.
We're not putting in a black neighborhood. Hell no, y'all. That's crazy. They don't wear 10 fucking pound hats or whatever the hell. 10 bucket. What's it called? 10-pound bucket hat? The cowboy hats, right?
That's
Gallon,
the
aren't
thing.
They're gallon hats.
10 gallon. That's what it is.
10-gallon hats. Yeah, I
Yeah.
lived in Texas for like 8 years, and even then I still considered it. That's not an outfit. That is a costume. Okay, when you got the big belt buckle and the fucking hat and the boots, that's a costume. Okay, as far as I'm concerned.
Never actually used in the time period where they're modeled after.
Right.
They more like a bowler hat type thing that was popular at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like realistically, a lot of cowboys were African American.
Well, and honestly, those hats were what Mexican Americans wore in Mexico, not the white boys in Texas. They wore the floppy kind of bent up ones. Like, what's that guy in Bonanza with that busted up hat? That's how the actual cowboys did it back in the day. Gustus or whatever that guy's name is. Cletus, I don't know. Gunsmoke, man. I see him I go to my patient's house. They're always playing Bonanza and Gunsmoke and shit. He's like, "Did you shoot him, boss?" Oh, that's the only exposure I get. I get a lot of Prices Right and shit during the day when I'm working.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Daytime TV. What a blast to be able to watch that again.
It's the divorce court of 10 different varieties of divorce court and all these lawyer thingies. And none of them are really final judgments. They're not real. It says in a small print. I had a patient. Right. The patient goes, "This is real." I was like, "Hold on, let me see your remote." I hit pause.
Well, we have all that because the United States considers marriage a sacred institution. So we have divorce court on TV.
Man, you got that right. But I had to change my patient's mind with proper evidence, right? And it really fucked them up. Like, no, this is real. Da 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 da. I was like, "Hold on, let me see your remote." And I rewound the intro at the very beginning. I paused it. I was like, "See the small print?" I was like, "Let me see your magnifying glass you used to read the crossword puzzle." And I go up to that fucker and it says, "All judgments are not final. These people are paid to tell their story. They still have a litigation process. Like, these are not final. I'm sorry, Jerry Springer is not a judge."
Well, that's what's funny. Like once in a great while, you'll see the judge, whoever it is, in whatever show, get pissed off, and she'll be like threatening this. It's like, what are you gonna do? Threaten them with the TV bailiff? I mean, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen?
I
Right.
just love the story of Boyce breaking the heart of some elderly person.
With a magnifying glass and a pause button. It's all it takes. But
You
they're
couldn't
like,
you couldn't let them have that. You couldn't let them have their daytime television
it's
where
bullshit.
couldn't
They're
let
like,
them
you see, that's how these people are. I'm like, this isn't real.
They
Like,
don't
yeah, it
realize
is.
that it's that you're looking at a TV set right now. Like not a TV set, but a set that they are filming on. There's
Uh-huh.
no, it's not a real courtroom.
It's not in a
set
courthouse.
made to, it's not in a courthouse. Yep.
Yeah. The guy with his hand on his belt buckle going, that's right, Jerry. He's not actually a bailiff. If it's fucked up, they don't air it.
people are. That statement alone clarified to me the kind of correction you were doing. I now full-heartedly endorse you breaking elderly people's hearts.
Thank you.
I now know that you will only do it in the most appropriate of situations.
But they're just saying stuff, and I said, let me see your I literally said that, let me see your magnifying glass. You read your crossword puzzles right there. There you go. And I'm like, see right here? It says, this is bullshit.
But I mean, that's a microcosm of what's going on in this country. Is people are looking at the glitz and the glamour and the outer veneer. They're not digging into what's actually going on, and so they have no understanding of the issue. That's exactly what's wrong with this country.
Well, I use this pause button a lot on TV for commercials too. My patient's like, you think I should get that magnetic brace for my knee to make my knee pain go away? I was like, no. You have degenerative joint disease. Your bones are crumbling. You need a knee replacement. Well, I don't believe I want no fake parts in me. I'm like, you need a replacement. Your pain will never get better. None of this stuff on TV. She was, well, this one right here is a copper one. I was like, hold on, let me see your remote. Pause. Okay, give me your magnifying glass again. Another person right here. You see this? It has no federal regulations. There's been no studies on this. There's no scientific documentation on this. It is all theoretical. These are paid actors. That's the best thing. These are paid actors.
I'll tell you how I explained it to my
it feels
uncle.
better.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how I explained it to my uncle a while ago because he was thinking of getting one of those magnet things, and I said, Uncle Ron, that's his name, Uncle Ron. I said, you right now are living inside a magnetic field that is so intense it can actually block solar radiation from reaching the planet. Okay? You are inside this magnetic field right now. If magnetic field stopped pain, you should be running a fucking mile down the street right now. Okay?
Well, I had the same talk with my kids because when the boys were younger, Detroit Tigers were actually a good baseball team, first of all, as a while back. Justin Verlander and all those guys, they had these new magnetic silver lining necklaces and bracelets. It helps with my joint pain. I'm like, they're sponsored. That's not real. And my kid's like, I want one. I was like, I'm not spending $55 for a stupid necklace. That's bullshit. It's a bungee wire. It's things people use to go rock climbing with. They just make a necklace out of it. It's a parachute cord tied in a knot, and they put a clip on it. It's not some kind of special properties. They're like, but it's supposed to be good for balance. I'm like, here, and then here's my youngest son. Again, I'm a dick sometimes to my own kids. So I said, oh, yeah, put this on. He goes, okay. I pushed him down. He fell. I was like, it doesn't work.
That's an old psychic trick they used to use all the time. Was they would try to like make you lean against something and then give you a push and try to demonstrate the efficacy of it by not allowing you to fall over, which makes no sense whatsoever in the first place if you think about it. But yeah, that's an old con man trick.
So I love those types of quick little demonstrations, a little skeptical review of it.
That's called reality slapping you in the face. Yeah, I like those too.
Well, you know what? I actually did slap my friend in the face about one thing. He's a Wiccan. He has the salts of protective circles and stuff like that. He'll do a chant and put the salt circle around him. It's a protective circle. I was like, that doesn't work. It's not real. He goes, yeah, it does. It protects me from bad spirits and this and that. I'm like, do one right now. I'm going to watch your ceremony. He does it. It takes like 5 minutes. It takes a while. They say a bunch of shit. They make a circle. I was like, you feel protected? Yeah. I go, whap, slap him. I was like, what's that? And he's like, you're an asshole. I'm like, I'm trying to save you some money, man. You spent $12 on that salt, bro.
People want to believe, man. Like I think I told this story before to you, maybe.
God.
I used to go to parties and do tarot for fun. And I would do tarot and predict people's future, and they loved it. They'd come back for more time and time again. They loved it. And in the end, I always explained, I'm full of shit. I do this to kind of show you how cold reading works and so you understand where people are getting this information from. And they'll tell me time and again, dude, no, you're really psychic. You just don't know it.
You're dead on, man.
Yep.
No, this is a hustle. If you've paid a psychic, you've been hustled. Yeah, I have people that I actually like some people that are like that, but I'm like, it hurts me to hear them say they believe that. I'm like, really? Palm reading and, oh, you're a Leo. I'm like, no, I was born on July 27, 1975. Doesn't make me a Leo because considering the constellations have actually shifted.
Right.
Since they started, it actually shifted.
Yeah, you could be Ophiuchus right now. You don't know because,
Also true.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt this incredible conversation, but
we got off track, didn't we?
Off track. And I eventually will need to leave here. So
you know what? We got 3 articles. We're good. I mean, okay. I might just fuck with this on TikTok or something. Make a quick TikTok video about it and just say, hey, whatever, But yeah, so guys, tomorrow discussion panel. We're gonna be discussing capitalism versus socialism versus communism. I'm pro-capitalist. I think we use capitalism to help people. It's a way to generate money and value, and it incentivizes technology and innovation. Right? That's how I see it. And my other friends don't. Everybody else is pretty much not there.
No, you got me because I'm on yours. I'm all for capitalism, but of the Nordic variety, for example. We're heavily regulated, making sure it stays in its place.
Right.
But I'm open to learning new stuff because I don't know a whole lot about.
Well, did you read the Communist Manifesto yet?
I haven't. I started it, but I haven't finished it.
Okay, I actually read it on.
It's short.
I listened to it on audiobook on Friday while I was working. So
it's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half long if you do it that way.
Yeah, it's really easy, man. In between patients, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Whatever. About the oppressive class and da, da, da. I'm like, all right, this is in the 1800s also. So what the fuck do you know? But we're gonna see about it. So again, like Carter said, yes. So again, I'm coming into this panel to learn. I have what am I thinking of the term, Ron? We have a premise before you enter it, like a
preconception.
I have a preconception stance on this. Like, okay, I'm coming into this pro-capitalism, and I'm looking for something better, and I'm listening. I'm not here to shit on anything else. I read the Communist Manifesto. I have a basic knowledge, and I want to talk to this other guy named Hot Sauce. He's the Hot Sauce. What's he call himself? The something leftist. But he's a leftist. Like he supports communism and socialism, and I think Matt from Mute the Media does as well. And everybody says, "Oh yeah, screw capitalism. It doesn't work." I'm like, "We'll replace it with what though?"
Right.
You can't just say screw capitalism and welcome to the Middle Age or the Dark Ages again. Doesn't work like that. You got to have something to replace it with. So
there's somebody I follow who's a socialist, a true socialist, not like a democratic socialist. He's democratic, but he's also just a true socialist. I mean, not just replacing the means of production, but everybody owns everything just about. And he actually knows a lot of what he's talking about. He's persuaded me on some of his issues because he's a very good debater, and I recognize he's a very good critical thinker. So
yeah, Hot Sauce leftist.
So
I thought I'm hoping that I can get to a better. Again, my best day is when I change my mind. So I'm coming to this hoping that someone will change my mind. If not, I'll sit where I'm at until then,
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm looking forward to learning something about it. And if nothing else, I enjoy having a more thorough understanding of all the sides of the issue. So.
Well, yeah. Also, just so you guys know, tomorrow's Flag Day, so make sure you burn the Confederate flag tomorrow. I plan on it.
Anyway. I also wanted to ask one more thing before I head out. How was UBI updates for you, boys?
UBI updates.
Were you able to show up to Clubhouse?
When was that?
Monday? Last week?
Oh, last week. Yeah, I was there for a while, but they asked me to present something. Like, what? They said, yeah, we said that we sent you an email saying that you should present something about whales as UBI. I was like, what? I was like, I'm not prepared for that, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I got too much shit going on. I can't remember all this stuff, you know. And like, I don't know. I just wasn't ready for that.
Gotcha.
I don't know what they expect me to say about some of these things. I'm like, it's just so quick, and I don't understand it. But I'm trying to be more prepared because I think they have one again next week or tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
I'm doing tomorrow.
Okay, you do tomorrow. I think I'm doing it next week, the 17th. No.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm doing the 17th. Wait. Whatever the hell. What's today? 13th, 14th? I'm doing the 21st. I'm sorry.
Today's 13th.
Yes. So tomorrow's the 14th. The next one's the 21st. Yes, I'm doing the 21st about something. Rosario, there she is. Yeah, so this whole thing. And yeah.
If you want me to set you up with something, I'll just set you up with something real quick. So that way you can just review it and go through.
Wait, it doesn't. Okay, now the document doesn't have me listed, so I don't know. I'll see what she says. But I'll help any way I can, but I just don't have time to do all this extra shit. You know, like prep work. I don't have a lot of time for prep work. Especially at like 5 o'clock. I'm working. Like I'm barely getting off work in time just to jump in there. So I was like still in my car last week. But yeah, we're getting somewhere.
Well, thank you for doing it, regardless.
I'll be doing 7-5. That's right, because Wendy Hamilton's going to be there. That's what it is. Yep. Well, all right, guys. Thanks for joining us, man. And go read a damn book, right?
Heck yeah.
So, well, we got 3 articles for now, and then we'll be going live tomorrow for a panel, and then Thursday we'll do it again. We'll be having Matt, Shy, and I think Michael. I think you joined us last Thursday too, right? And Hot Sauce joined us. Heidi from I Eat World Peas, which I think is a kind of funny fucking name. It's a great name, man. World Peace, World Peas. I got it. But Heidi, yeah, we've had some fun discussions, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. We're trying to be focused on the news on Sunday still, and eventually we'll do the news more. Like we'll do our panels after we do some news articles. You know what I'm saying? So maybe this week we're going to focus on this panel because this is going to be a serious panel about a serious topic. And I think I can chop this thing up and make a couple good episodes out of it too, as far as like clips go. It's a lot of information coming at us. So we'll see how it goes, man. And I think the conservative immigrant's going to join us tomorrow. So he's a hardcore conservative guy. So we'll see how he defends capitalism and try not to be too big of a, I'm just going to tell him, don't be a dick. I will bounce your immigrant conservative ass. He's from Romania. I actually debated him on TikTok about healthcare. He's actually decent about it, you know.
No, I think I've seen that guy. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, it's always 9 p.m. Eastern, guys, on the Trickle Up. But yeah, so some people think he's a little bit misogynistic with women, a little dismissive, and talks down to people. So hey, man, conservative immigrant, I'll bounce your ass. You know, I'm just gonna come in like that because that's probably all he understands is authority.
I just said let the women in the room deal with his ass then.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah. You know, that's a very good point because we have some solid ladies that
I'll just sit down and grab the popcorn and watch.
Check that motherfucker. Yeah. So we're gonna have a nice little panel tomorrow, guys. So again, thanks for your time, Mia. Thanks for your time, Ronald. Go check out Ronald on Braces for Impact on TikTok. Man, he does good shit about religion and politics, just like myself. He's a little more precision. He talks with a scalpel. I talk with like a hammer. He's more surgical than I am. I'm just like, fucking idiots. And then he actually explains why you're an idiot a little better than I do, I think. So
it depends on the day and who I'm talking to.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, man, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys next time. So